Hello everybody. Okay, today I'm going to be doing a quick review of the products that I picked up that are a new brand available at Target here in the United States. I believe this brand's been available in overseas, like in the UK for a while, but it's new to us here in the United States. So I picked up a few items at my store and about one in every category that I was interested in. I am going to be using my Sonia G brushes today. These are the Pro set, and I have already put foundation and eyeshadow primer on my eyes. They currently, at least in the United States, do not have a foundation available in the store, so I wasn't able to pick one of those up, so I already put it on my base. The eyeshadow that I picked up, they have a very large eyeshadow collection comparative to the rest of the line. You have lots of options, different size palettes. The palette that I chose to pick up is the Be the Game Changer palette. And this is a 16 pan eyeshadow palette. There is a mirror on the inside, and it's a good size mirror. And then these are the shadows. They are removable and they have the names right there. I think there's several different options. There's smaller palettes. This is the largest one, the 16 pan. And I think this is the most expensive item they have in the line at $14.99. So we're just going to do a quick look here with me. I have already used these products. I'm using this beige color Simple, and I'm just going to set the eye up here. Like I said, I do have the Essence eyeshadow primer on. I use that every single day. I honestly wouldn't know how to judge an eyeshadow without it. It's been years since I've not used an eyeshadow primer. So I'm just going to set that primer with this beige color, kind of do the entire upper lid. And then next, I'm going to do kind of a cool toned look today. I'm going to go in with the color Score and the Transition. So I have used these items a couple times. I actually filmed a live first impressions, but there were issues with the footage, so I won't be able to share that. But overall, so far, my impression of this line is pretty decent. I think it's a pretty good drugstore brand. There are a few things that I'm going to tell you to save your money on that I would definitely are a hard pass for me, and one item in particular, I'm actually quite upset with the way that they've marketed it. But overall, I think this is a decent brand. These eyeshadows perform well. They're not extremely pigmented, but at this price point, I don't really expect them to be extremely pigmented. They do build up, and they are very blendable. So I think, I think they're on par with all of the other drugstore eyeshadows out there. I do wish maybe, but that's just in general, I think, for most drugstore brands. Next, I'm going to go in with this dark color Coach in the crease. I think in general, I always wish that drugstore brands were able to do a little bit better job on the shimmer eyeshadows. I don't feel like I'm ever completely pleased with shimmer eyeshadows at the drugstore. I like a very foiled, at least have an option of a very foiled shadow. And that is definitely not the case for this brand. I mean, their shimmers are good. They're a decent shimmer formula, but nothing about them is foiled or anything too crazy. I'm just going to blend that out. And there we go. So we're just doing a nice easy look for work today. I do really like this color. It's called Metal right here. This is a really nice shimmer taupe, and I'm just going to put that on the lid with my finger. And then next I'm going to go in with the color Chance and just put that on the inner corner. And that's our eye look. So the next item I'm going to move on to is concealer. So I do think it's a little strange that they have a concealer but not a foundation. I'm not really sure what that's about, but that's fine with me. So this concealer, I believe it was $10. This is the Makeup Obsession Mega Conceal Longwear Concealer with Caffeine. Like I said, it's a pretty good size. You get, where is it? 0.44 fluid ounces, so almost half an ounce. So that's quite a lot for concealer. I believe that's more than Tarte Shape Tape, and at $9. What I will say is they do advertise this as full coverage. I would say this is a high medium coverage. I'm not going to completely give it the full coverage status. It's just not there. I can still see some of my, you know, sunspots and stuff through it, and a little bit of darkness, but I mean, I will say it's a good concealer. I need really heavy coverage. So this is a good concealer. If you like a high medium coverage, I definitely think this is going to be a good choice. I will say the doe foot is very large, but I feel like, especially when I first started using this, that you're not getting a lot of product. I feel like you have to dip in quite a few times to get it on your face, to get as much product as I want to use. So I will say I haven't seen any benefits supposedly to the caffeine that's in it, but I haven't used it a ton yet. I've been using it for about a week, enough that I know what I think about it, but I'm not seeing any like skincare benefits from it. I did pick up their translucent powder, the Pure Bake Transparent. I believe it comes in three colors: transparent, banana, and then there was a darker color. I will not be using it to set under my eye. I was actually quite disappointed when I opened it up and felt the texture of it. I was just like, you know, I don't think this is going to be a powder that I'm going to like. And I did some testing on my hand, and sure enough, it is the type of powder. The first ingredient on it is talc, and then the next one is aluminum starch. It is the kind of powder that will darken your concealer color. So if you're going for that lighter and brighter, you're going to lose some of that. I have been using it to set my face, and it does a decent job, but quite frankly, after I have this video up, this powder is probably going in the trash can because I don't believe I can return it to Target, and I'm just really not a fan. I would not recommend spending your money on this powder. So I'm going to be dipping into a different powder to set my under eyes, and then we will work with that powder next. Okay, so under eye is set. And so I don't know if you guys can see there. I mean, see how you can still see, like I have a sunspot right there, or a freckle. So that's still peeking through, but it's very dark. Like, I know it's one of those things that doesn't look that dark without makeup, but I have a hard time with any makeup covering it. So that's kind of what gives away to me how full coverage a product is. So that's why I'm going to give this a high medium coverage, because I just don't think it's a true full. So this is the powder, and the way it comes is, and by the way, it's 0.28 ounces. And when it comes, you open it, and it has this plastic thing inside, but there is no sifter holes. So once you take this out, after you take the lid off, the powder is just completely loose inside of there. So packaging fail, and the formula is just really the most basic, simple formula that I'm just really not a fan of. This one is the one product that I'm going to say, save your money. I really don't think you should spend your money on this. I am going to use it to set my face. I mean, it does an okay job. I'm not going to say it's a bad powder, but I just think that for your money, there are much better options on the market for the same price tag. Because this wasn't like dirt cheap. It's not like this was like $2 or $3. So as you can see, it does a decent job setting the face. You know, it doesn't deepen my foundation too much. My foundation was a little light because I knew this powder would deepen it just a bit. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't do anything horrible to the skin. It doesn't look overly dry or overly powdery to me. And I do have a drier skin type. It's just kind of like a meh, I wouldn't spend my money on it type product. Okay, I'm going to dust on a blush really quick. They do not have any blushes. I'm just going to be using this one from LeTote in the color Desert Rose. They do have some highlighter palettes, and those highlighter palettes tended to have, they were 4-pan, I believe there were 2 variations of it, and both of them seemed to have 3 beige colored, beige or, you know, gold or brown toned highlights, and then in each of them there was one that looked to me be more like rosy toned with like pink tones in it. So I thought about grabbing that to use blush, but when I looked at it in person, it was so shimmery that I was just like, I don't like my blushes that shimmery. So I passed because that was the only option I saw that kind of could have been used as a blush. So I just skipped on that because I didn't really want the whole palette to try to store, and I just didn't see out of the 4 colors that I would use all 4 of them on a regular basis. The next product that we have is the Makeup Obsessions highlighter. I got the color Mega Honey. I had it between this and Mega Lightning, and when I saw Mega Lightning in person, if you're very pale, that one would probably be a great option. It was basically white with like a gold vein through it. So I thought that would be a little too light for me. This Mega Honey seems to be a perfect color for me. It is like a baked formula. I like this highlighter. It's not my new favorite. What I will say is that I know a lot of people love the e.l.f. baked highlighters, and I really feel like these are the similar in formula, almost the same. I'm not a huge fan of those e.l.f. ones, which is probably why I'm not a huge fan of this. I do think I like this one just a little bit more than those e.l.f. baked highlighters. So if you love the e.l.f. baked highlighters but want some different color options, I would definitely give these a check out, because I believe there were quite a few. I want to say there were at least 5 shades of the highlighters, so there's a decent range, and the formula is very, very similar to that. So you can see it gives me a nice gold sheen. I don't have any complaints about the highlighter, but I'm also not over here like, this is the best highlighter formula that I've ever tried. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that looks like. Next is the only brow product that I saw that they have, because I would have picked up a pencil if they'd had like a retractable pencil, is the brow pomade, and I got the color medium brown, and this is what it looks like. And the ounce weight on this is 0.087 or 2.5 grams, and it's just very, you know, I've used mine a little bit. It's very similar to the Anastasia brow pomade, or dip brow I should say, and it does come with this little 2-ended brush. The brush is decent. I have been using this Jeffree Star brush because I've been using the spoolie to kind of build it out, but we'll use this. I would say this is very comparable to dip brow. It's very pigmented. I actually feel like maybe I could have picked up a lighter color because it is so pigmented. And you're going to see me, because I've used this several times, if you dip in here and like press down, it's going to completely cover your eyebrow. So I am using an extremely light pressure and just brushing the color over the hairs, because I'm trying not to get a ton of pigmentation out this. You definitely can, and I've actually used way too much before, so it's easy to do that with this product. It, like I said, ton of pigmentation, I have no complaints with this. It's been a while since I've used the actual original Anastasia Brow Wiz, but if my memory serves me correctly on the formulation, I would say that this is very, very similar. I'd say it's maybe a little bit thicker. It's not quite as creamy as Dip Brow when you first open it, but I always actually kind of preferred my Dip Brow after it dried out just a smidge. You know, it was like just had a little bit more density to it, and I think this is kind of like, to me, the texture that I always wanted my Dip Brow to be, that I always liked when my Dip Brow dried out to this texture a little bit. This one to me has it as soon as you open it up. So, but like I said, very, very similar. So there's one brow filled in, and you guys, I'm not pushing at all. I'm just like swiping this color over the brow hairs. So you can see a lot of pigmentation. I did get the color medium brown. I actually would be curious about picking up a lighter brown shade. Well, one thing I will say about the medium brown is I feel like a lot of brow products have too much red in them for my liking. I like a cooler tone product, and I definitely think, I mean, when you first open it, it kind of looks a little red toned, but once you get past that top layer, it's definitely not, and I don't think it reads red toned on my brows at all. But if you are a more auburn hair color and you want those redder tones, medium brown is not the color for you. See there, I got a little too much. Can you see the pigmentation there? So I'm gonna have to spread that out. Okay, 2 brows done. Yeah, I'm going to adjust my brow here in the front a little more off camera. I have a little zit, I hate that word, right there, so I'm going to have to go back and alter that just a little bit around that. We've got an extra obstacle today. So there we go. And then, okay, I'm going to go ahead and spray my face with the setting spray. This is the Makeup Obsessions Dewy Fix Dewy Makeup Fixing Spray. I believe they had 3 or 4 formulas of the setting spray, and then they have a couple that are like a shimmer spray. I didn't really want shimmer. I just wanted like that dewy glow, you know, like the Pixie Hydrating Milky Mist or the Tatcha Dewy Skin Mist. That's kind of what I envisioned this being, or like Milani has a dewy setting spray. And as you can see, I use quite a bit. What I will say is I don't have anything against this fixing spray. The smell doesn't really bother me. It really doesn't feel like it has any fragrance. Let me look here quickly. I mean, it just kind of smells like makeup, and I'm not seeing quickly any fragrance in it, which is good. Alcohol is the second ingredient. Water is the first. But what I will say is nothing about this to me is dewy. Like, I think if they just said fixing spray, I'd been like, yes. But they put the word dewy on it, and it says, fix your fresh dewy glow with this lightweight setting spray that fixes your makeup for long-lasting wear. Nothing about this is dewy to me. It does, and I can do a second layer. Nothing about this is dewy at all to me. It just kind of sets it, it blends the powder in with everything, you know, it does that blending effect. It, you know, probably adds a little bit of wear time to the makeup, but I can't get on board with the fact that it's dewy. I would buy this again. but I just want to let you guys know there's nothing dewy about it. Okay, so the last product that just pissed me off is this, and this is the Makeup Obsession lip gloss. And I really wish, and this is the color Dreams, I really wish that the footage from my first impressions would have worked out, because I was like applying this, and I believe this is the only lip product. Like, I don't believe they have any like bullet style lipsticks or anything. So this clear, I just want to point out right here, this says, can y'all read it? Lip gloss. And if you go on Target's website, and so I'm putting this on and I'm like, huh, this has an odd texture for a lip gloss. I'm going to put it on here. So there it is. Pretty color. I have no issues with the color. And right now it looks a little shiny, but not like shiny like you think a lip gloss would be. If you go to Target's website, let me pull it up quickly here on the phone. Does this have a barcode I can scan? It does. So if you go to the Target site and you pull this up, we're going to click on in here. This was $5.99. And what it says is, it says Makeup Obsession Lip Gloss Dreams, right? Oh, look, somebody's given it 1 star. I'm going to have to read that. That was not there the last time I did this. You click on product details, and it says under here, product details. See that down there? Beauty purpose, shine enhancing. Okay? And somewhere, oh, here. It does say, it's right here. It says Makeup Obsession Matte Lip Gloss Dreams. Okay, that's the only place that I could find something that said matte. It does not say it anywhere on the packaging at all. Like, it is not on here at all. It just says lip gloss. Nothing on the back here says anything about being matte. And the description on the Target website says shine enhancing. This is not a lip gloss, you guys. Can you tell by now? This is a matte liquid lip. Okay. I will give it, it's transfer resistant. When I figured out that's what it was, I tried putting a lip gloss over it to kind of like give it back a slip formula, and this stayed underneath the lip gloss. So I'm assuming this is pretty long wearing. The reason, I want to read this review really quick, you guys. I didn't realize this was going to be on here. No, it doesn't really say what I think. This just pisses me off. To me, this is false advertising. I hate matte liquid lips. That's a little strong. I don't hate. I'm not a fan. I went through that phase when everybody was ranting and raving about them. I no longer purchase matte liquid lips. It's not something I buy. It's not something I want to spend my money on, because I don't enjoy wearing them, except for like specific costume looks or something is the only time I'm going to buy a matte liquid lip. It's not something I do in my everyday wear. I would not have wasted my money on this. So this is $6, and it just pisses me off because I would not have purchased this if it said matte liquid lip. I would have left it on the shelf and been like not interested. But it clearly says on here lip gloss. This is not a lip gloss. This is a matte liquid lipstick. Like I said, it's just like, when I first discovered this and I put it on and it started drying down and I was like, what the heck is this? I was so angry. Like I said, I have nothing against the color. I actually think for a matte liquid lip, I mean, the formula is okay. I'm not a matte liquid lip expert, so I can't, you know, say a whole lot on that, but it just, call it what it is. Don't label it a lip gloss, because it's not. So that's my rant on that. And that's pretty much my review of this line. Every product, like I said, in general, I think it's worthy picking up their products. They're not that expensive and they have pretty good formulations. This is probably the winner for me. I think this is a really good dupe for the Dip Brow for a great price. Second place for me is probably the concealer. Like I said, the only thing that I would say, please save your money. I would not buy this, you guys, unless, I don't know. Nothing about this formulation do I think is good. I would save your money on that because the formulation's not worth it. And then this, pick up if you guys like a matte liquid lipstick. And now you're informed that that's what it is. But if you think this is a lip gloss, don't bother. But yeah, and then like on the eyeshadows, they have a huge selection, I think, of eyeshadow palettes. It's not like they have like just two, they have several. Like I said, they have several in this size. There's a smaller size. I have no complaints on the eyeshadow formula. It lasts all day with the primer that I use. I always use a primer, so I don't know any other way to use them. And that's my general impressions of this line. So if you guys see this at Target, I did see a video by that Taylor when she was in, I believe, London, and they have, like in the stores over there, they have a lot more products that I didn't see in this collection. So either maybe on their website or maybe eventually we'll get more of their products in the United States. But right now, this is kind of the type of products that you can pick up in their collection. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and let me know if you have any questions or comments below, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.